Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in, right? And let's read this first. And Vic says, these people are broken. um, so y'all can thank Mr. Z for messing up y'all algorithms. I'm reading y'all comments. I'm reading y'all comments. And GC says, watching the vids now, I could never send my kid to a majority white private school. No chance, right? Yeah. And Crack says, what am I looking at, Z? Effing up my algorithm with these homework videos. Hysterical. And Spainman says, never dawned on me that the rainbow black men can aspire to be with Miss Cartwright too, right? Um, yeah, and Only Logical says, do same-sex loving black men and black women date the same exact white dudes? I find that suspect as hell. Okay, what's going on, Louis? And Louis is in here too. Okay, what y'all are seeing, and there's a reason why I'm covering this, is to speak to, and I didn't have the time. Shout out to Ostefco. I'm gonna mention her, but I didn't have the time to show that Ostefco also spoke of being in love with white dudes in high school, right? So, to the title of tonight's live, we are speaking about underage black girls, so under 18, right? And this lust for white boys, and how that lust for white boys becomes a lust for white men as they get older. I posted two links within the past 10, 15 minutes, so my apologies for those of you that checked out the links early. Please, 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 y'all check out the links in the description box. We have Dr. Thunder. Shout out to Dr. Thunder. We have Only Logical. We have Amanda Marianne. We have a couple of other links, one from my channel. And what you will see is a theme here of black women or black girls speaking about pursuing white boys. Black women speaking about pursuing white boys when they were underage, and black girls speaking about, well, pursuing white boys. And what Mr. Z continuously thought watching these is, what did that mean for the black boys or black boys when you were underage? And what does that mean for black men now? Right? So what we hear from our elders, whether that's black men elders like a Dr. Umar Johnson or black women elders like a Dr. Sabrina Springs, is this: black men want these pliant, blonde, blue-eyed, stick figure white women. And what we like never talk about in the black community, like never, is how many, and of course, pause right here. It is South Florida, so excuse me for my background. It is raining right now, so once again, it is South Florida. But let's continue. What we never speak about in the black community, like never, are our daughters who seek attention, validation from white boys in specific. We don't speak about our daughters seeking the approval, the attention, right, of non-black boys, but very specifically white boys. We don't speak about that in the black community. One of the links you will see is a short film from Amanda Marianne. I just posted this about 10 minutes ago, so those of you that didn't watch it, it's about 6 or so minutes long. And it's Amanda Marianne showing a dark-skinned sister practicing, young girl, by the way, practicing telling the white boy that she has a crush on him. Cool. And the title of her short film is called Crushed. Yes, y'all heard right. It is called Crushed. And so what she does, what she thinks is slick, is have her go through the boy she finds attractive with the white boy, and then have him choose the girls that he finds attractive in their yearbook. And of course, she's crushed when the white boy picks nothing but white little girls, right? I want us to appreciate and understand we are dealing with a couple generations of, and actually, you really might want to say a few generations of suburban black folks now. We are dealing with a few generations of black immigrants that might not move into black neighborhoods when they move to America, right? This is not the 1940s, 50s, and 60s anymore. This is not the 1920s anymore. We are dealing with now 2 and 3 generations of black suburbanites and black immigrants who have moved to the suburbs away from primarily black people. These people are going to have different experiences. Their children are going to have different experiences. Huh? What you see are more and more black folks, namely black girls, telling you how they lust after and seek white boys' approval. Some of them are doing the My Master Challenge. Uh-oh. When you ask them to list out who they find attractive, who they find appealing, it is nothing but white boys and white men. They're telling you how they're letting, and I need to find that link. Shout out to y'all. Where someone can find that link, we've all seen it with the black girl the black woman, excuse me, that admits that when she was younger, she was letting a white boy call her all type of N-words because she was interested in that white boy. And she would let the white boy make fun of her and his friends make fun of her because she was interested in that white boy. Once again, underage. Right? Huh. I think it is important for us to speak about as these girls become women, better yet. What does it mean as these girls become women, Amanda Marianne? What does it mean when these girls become women, oh Steph Co? What does it mean when these girls become women, Madison Brown? What does it mean when these girls become women, Kim Foster? Huh? What does it mean when these girls become women, Khadijah and Bo? They could say, oh no, I was interested in the black boys, but the black boys weren't talking to me, so I talked to white boys. Okay, whatever. Huh? What does it mean when these girls become women? Huh? I'm not necessarily speaking about the raving lunatic divestors here. Not necessarily. Yes, but no. I'm speaking about black women who may or may not be professional, black women who may or may not be highly educated, right? Black women who may or may not have had different experiences, lived in different neighborhoods away from the black community. But the one constant is a longing for white male validation. Whether that's white boys when those black women were black girls, or whether that's white men now. Huh? If you want to know why Amanda Marianne could put out the pasta and lobster video and then the black wife effect video, if you want to know why Madison Brown is speaking about swirling, huh? If you want to know why, oh, Steph Co now is telling you, now, I'm seeking black love, Huh? How many of these women, when they were girls, it was all about the white boys, and now that they're women, it's still pretty much all what about the white boys, unless you can find them like a Superman black man. Huh? Why does this matter, Z? Because these women become professionals and have the ears of the white men. Oops, with power. Yikes. Huh? That's why. These women work behind the scenes at your news organizations. They work behind the scenes at some type of entertainment house. They work behind the scenes for magazines and newspapers. That's why. These women work behind the scenes for politicians. That's why. That is why their opinion matters. These are the women that don't see anything wrong with H&M shirt that says coolest monkey on the in the jungle and a black boy's wearing it on the website. Uh-oh. Huh? Those are the women that greenlight that. Huh? The women that can intellectualize their anti-black misandry in a cutesy way, like Amanda Marianne. Huh? It's not me. It's that the black boys, they're because of the European beauty standard that I wish I was a part of. Because of the European beauty standard, they haven't really been taught to like or love black women and find black women attractive, right? So they don't really find black women attractive. So for my own mental health and for me to not, love is love anyway, and like race doesn't really matter anyway. So like I don't exclusively date white. Yes, most of them do. I don't exclusively date white, but I'm like open. Huh? And like the European beauty standard and the way it works on black men. Huh? And what you have are more, and this is why I say let them talk. The internet will expose us all. You have black women after black women after black women that tell you they've been fiending for white male validation since they were children, underage, under the age of 18. Yes, you heard right. Right? Y'all are hearing correctly. T Noir even saying she went through that when she was 14 years old, around 14, 15 years old. All about the white boys. Dear black men, this is not your fight to fight. Black women are encouraged to be insecure from white society so that they white boys can have fun with little black girls. Dear black fathers, protect your daughters. All you black single moms, whoop. Right? White society is adding fuel to the fire, encouraging black girls to have this insatiable inferiority complex because white boys ain't choosing. And the one that does, he can have anything from your daughter. You heard right. Uh-oh. Huh? But somehow when these black girls become black women, their insecurities and colorism, featureism, texturism, it's all black men's fault. Not the white boys that didn't validate them in high school. Not the white young men that didn't validate them in college. Not the white men that's pogo sticking up and down their esophagus as an adult. Nope, it ain't the white men. It's not the white men. It's you, black men. Right? And Spain Man says every statement is a question. I mean, Yes, I guess. Mr. Z, why did you put the LGBTQ brother up there? Listen to his advice. Listen to the way he speaks. And of course he has a white husband, but of course he does. Huh? Can we just be honest and say that black female empowerment comes at the cost of black men? Ooh, Z, ooh, you're not supposed to say that out loud, Z. It is a zero-sum game. And it wasn't decided by black men. It was decided by black women, black LGBTQ folks, and white society. Huh? And Cheryl Bentley says, listen to a guy who is a breadwinner, who is the breadwinner for a white guy. And apparently the bottom. Y'all hear the way he speaks. Y'all see his mannerisms. Imagine that. Oh, imagine that. Mr. Z's assuming. Huh? Wow. So your little black girls, primarily in these PWIs, primarily coming out of the suburbs or different environments that are heavily white, are seeking white male validation. But they weren't necessarily taught or told to be honest about it. So as they become adults, what do? They weaponize society's already anti-black misandry against black men. But of course they do, because it's never, hey, look, I have this inferiority complex that only a white man can fix. It's not that. Huh? It's, well, black boys and black men made me feel insecure. Colorism, featureism, texturism. Huh? It's not the white boys in high school were ignoring me. I was made to feel ugly. They called me monkey. They told me they couldn't be seen in public with me. It's never that. Huh? So why is Mr. Z covering this in specific? Dear black men, you have to leave black women like this alone. Yes, the cutesy Amanda Marianne. Yes, Madison Brown. Yes. Yes, Ostefco. Yes. Yes, Chrissy. Yes. Yes, Kim Foster. Shout out to her boyfriend. All right now. Huh? Huh? This is the advice that they're being given. This is their insatiable inferiority complex. And dear black men, you can't fix it. As a matter of fact, shout out to Compassionate Callous. I'm gonna post the Asian girl telling you the same thing. Well, the Asian woman, excuse me, Asian woman telling you, in high school, they weren't really checking for me. Dear black men, you can't fix this. You can't. You gotta. The second she give you a whiff of a white boy in the past, alpha widowed from a white dude that ain't never even do nothing with her. God forbid a white dude that did do something with her. The second she give you a whiff of white peen in her throat, you gotta get out of there. You can't fix it. Shout out to I see that page on Instagram. On not Instagram. I'm sorry. That page on Twitter X. Is this you? Where they show the sisters that are now with black men, but at one point they were talking so negatively about black men and glowingly and positively about white men. Now they got a black boyfriend. Now it's all black power. Now they got a black husband. Now it's all black power. Shout out to you, brothers. I'll see you in divorce court in 5 to 10 years. Huh? What did y'all hear from the clip from Only Logical's channel? Not the one with not the beginning of the video from Only Logical channel where the sister was out here with the white dude that didn't want to pay for her services. Not that one. Huh? No. The second one where the young lady was telling you in high school she thought that her and the white dude had a little vibe. They were into the same type of things, right? They had a little vibe. And essentially, she asked him out, and he was like, I can't be seen with you in public. Oh, boy. So let's get this right. This young lady said, white dude said he can't be seen with her in public. The other clip, anybody, I want to say this again. If anybody has the link to the video where the young lady was saying in high school, the white dude was calling her all time. She was letting the white dude call her type an N-word. Only Logical, it might be on your channel. I'm not sure. But there's a clip of a young lady saying, yeah, you know, when she was in high school, she was laying, high school and middle school, she was letting the white dude call her all type of N-word and saying, who's my massa or whatever. Y'all want to say black boys are letting that slide? Show me the black boys in predominantly white high schools letting the white girl call him all type of N-word. I'm not saying y'all can't find one or two. Can y'all find as many as these black women admitting that they letting the white boys call them all type of N-word and monkey? And who's your massa in middle school and high school just for the validation? Show me the black men who saying, as a black boy, I was so crushed that the white girl that I found attractive in high school wasn't into me. And making her short films about the white girl turning him down, or saying, I find Brad attractive, and I find Chad attractive, and Thad attractive, and it crushes him because he's not on the list. Show me all of the black men saying that when they were black boys, underage, the white girls weren't checking for me. Huh? Mr. Z is covering this to say these are the women. Huh? These are the women that become movers and shakers behind the background. In the background. No pun intended on that one, but you could add the pun if you want. Movers and shakers. Huh? These are the women making their six figures, telling you who's not on their level. They're talking about black men. Huh? These are the women that's like that. What was it, Miss Arizona? What was her name again? The Nigerian sister that tried to catch up with Trevor Bauer, the baseball player. Huh? Yeah. Uh-oh. Sure, I ain't even gonna read that out loud. Uh-oh. Huh? Yeah. Dear black men, they're being honest. Take their honesty for what it is. Yes, they're going to continue to throw you under the bus, but every once in a while they'll admit that they were chasing after white boys since they were in grade school. They were attracted to white boys since they were in grade school. And as Amanda Marianne Short says, crushed. That's the title, crushed. Huh? Crush, and then the ed is in parentheses. Her crush and her crush crushed her. Just by not really seeing her in that way. Dear black women, dear black girls, you live in America. If you didn't notice, shout out to all you parents. I'm gonna go see if I can find that think piece from or that rage piece really from Soren from years ago when the young sister that was at that pool party and the white officer slammed her to the ground in her bikini and in a fit of rage. Shout out to Soren because she was correct on this. To all you black parents that send your kids to these white schools and you want your daughters, you want your children to end up with these white people. And she said it. She said the quiet part out loud in a moment of rage. Soren said it. Yeah, you black parents. No, Soren, you black mothers who send your daughters out here to end up with the white boys. No, not you black parents, Soren. You black mothers. Huh? Who send your daughters out here to be the sexual playthings for white boys, underage white boys? Huh? And Spainman says, did Gender Warlord channel get nuked? He had some excellent receipts on there. I wish I could access. Yeah, it no longer exists. It no longer exists. Right? I don't know if he just took it down, or if he or if it got xed out. But yeah, it no longer exists. Or if YouTube took it down. Yeah. So what's important about this is that now we have more and more receipts of black women admitting that when they were children, they were seriously seeking the validation of white boys. And it didn't change now that they're black women. Ain't that right, Madison Brown, Amanda Marianne? And when finally they can't take it no more, the heartbreak is too real. The culture class is too real. They're tired of being the dirty little secret of white men. Finally. Then they say, all right, all right. I'll end up with a black person. Oops. Because it could still be a black woman. Yikes. Why is Mr. Z covering this? Dear black man, it's not up to you. And quite frankly, there's nothing you can do to fix black women's insatiable inferiority complex because they're not white women. Because the white boys and the white men, the white males, do not put them on the pedestal that the black girls and the black women do. What is Mr. Z saying? Quite frankly, this is not all black women and girls. I would argue, yes, Z is about to say it. No, Z, no, ain't no way. This is not even most black women and girls. It's a big chunk, though. It's still significant. Now that black women can talk for themselves, they tell you what Oprah told you. Ooh, Z, you not about. I'm about to say it. Remember what Oprah said in that interview? Huh? Yes, she wished she was a little white girl when she was little black girl. She wished she was a white girl. She doesn't really think like that anymore. Oprah, we see the way you move and talk. Yes, you do. Even now, huh? We saw your fake tears about Gayle King. Yes, you do. Huh? Sounds about right, Trill. And Trill says critical mass is about 20%. I'll put it there. 20, 25-ish percent. Huh? More and more black women are telling you when they were underage that their crush was a little white boy. Okay, cool. Was a white young man. Cool. And what crushed them was that that feeling wasn't reciprocated. These young women, these underage and teenage black girls, whether it's their parents, whether it's the dominant society, has not informed them that the way you think about white boys and white men is not the way they think about you. These girls have to find out the hard way, sometimes with the pun intended, but there isn't this angst and this anger and this ire towards white men and boys when they realize it. It's still directed towards black men. They intellectualize their misandry towards black men. Amanda Marianne is a prime example of that. For her to put out this think piece called Crushed, showing the white boy just didn't reciprocate the feeling, cool. And yet for her to put out multiple think pieces now about the black wife effect or about pasta and lobster. What is she on her third one? There's another one where she's saying, and she's trying to justify. She thinks she's being a bit gracious to black men by saying, because of the upbringing, they just don't value black women because of the European beauty standard. She thinks she's being gracious towards us, towards black men, towards black males. Huh? Show me the black men that are turning down Amanda Marianne. Show me the black men that are the young black men around their age that are turning down Madison Brown. Huh? Even the sister with the dreads that only Logical covered. She a little bit heavier. Show me all the black men turning her down. No, y'all seeking white male validation, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to lie to kick it, Craig. You don't have to lie on black men and black boys to go seek your true white love. Right? What is the other clip Mr. Z has in his description box? The clip from my videos, not my lives, but my videos of the young lady telling you how going to PWI really messed her up. Not college and university, but high school and middle school. And how it really messed her up. And she says, this is why we don't want to date each other. Say it again, Z. She says, this is why we don't want to date each other. In other words, she says black people. She's saying this is why black people that went through those experiences at these predominantly white high schools, this is why they don't date each other. Black women. Huh? This is why Mr. Z says let them talk. See, when you let people talk and you don't interrupt, you let them get their thought out. Huh, there's a pun in there. You let them get their thought out. And they will tell you why they do the things they do. They will tell you why they think the way they think. They will tell you. Huh? What did the young lady say? She said, this is why we don't date each other. This is why we look at dating each other as weird. Huh? Amanda Marianne put crushed out. And you see the young lady practicing in the mirror. I want to say she was practicing in the mirror, if I remember correctly, on how to talk to the white boy. Cool. We do that as kids. Well, I know what I'm gonna say. And she was crushed that those feelings were reciprocated. And there's multiple black women now who are admitting not so much the black boys, although many black women do, but you're seeing a disproportionate amount, let me use a leftist word, a disproportionate amount of black women admitting that when they were black girls, they were crushed, that their feelings for some rando white boy, white young man wasn't reciprocated. You caught what I'm saying, Tro? They getting they thought out with white boys. Huh? With white young men. Dear black men, if she's not family, there's really not much you can say or do to get black women to understand them white boys ain't going. And dear black men, it's not up to you to be save her. Shout out to all you black men that follow behind white men. Okay. Love is love. Okay, yeah, that's it. In America, black women are telling you what they're on. Ooh, there's a pun in there, right? They're telling you when they were children that they wish they were white. They were bleaching their skin. They were asking their mothers to have the hair relaxer for perms, right? Dear black men, these particular black women are telling you what it is, right? Teen Noir told you she went through a phase, and how and there's something to be said about human development and puberty and kind of how we have the world structured right now, right? Because the way we have the world structured right now, particularly in the West, first time marriages for what are right now, what, 28 ish, 29 ish for women, and that's not including black women, that's just women writ large. I mean, excuse me, I said that wrong. That's not specific to black women in America, that's women writ large. First time marriages is 28, 29 ish. For black women, it's what, 32 or something along those lines? 34, 32, something, 33? Okay. If hundreds of years ago and thousands of years ago, people were jumping the broom or however, whatever ceremonial or gesture you made to signal that you were married to this person, people were jumping the broom at 13s and 14s and 15s, right? And now we're pushing it back to 28 and 29 and 30 and 35 and 40. What's the face of power right now? What's the face of attractive right now as men go? Huh? What's the face of gentleman right now? What's the face of debonair right now? What's the face of class right now? What's the face of smart right now? The Asians, no, it's not. Stop it. Huh? So of course your 13 and 14 and 15-year-old black girls who parents might be a little, I don't want to have that conversation with my daughter, huh? Your daughter's gonna form her opinion and her thoughts without you, with or without you. No pun intended on that thoughts though. Not on this, not on this one, right? With or without you. So 13, 14, 15 years old, huh? And she's at a PWI. What do you think? We have an elder in this space who has two daughters, and he informed you that he watched little black girls go through it in these environments. Not specific to his daughters, because his daughters are his daughters. But he watched other black girls go through it, seeking white male validation and it ripping them apart. Huh? Shout out to Amio Frimpong. I think Amio Frimpong grew up in the Bay Area, I think Oakland. And he made like a little slight blink and you'll miss it comment about it. Black women who grew up in these type of areas, forget not being told they were black, not being raised that they were black, having a very surface level understanding about what it means, and then they wake up divorced from the white man in their 40s, being like, what the hell happened? Who am I? Exactly. Huh? Anybody want to say Stacey Dash? Ooh, ooh, Z, ooh, 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 Z, ooh. Huh? We spend so much time lecturing our sons, waving our finger at our sons, wagging our finger at our sons, disciplining our sons, telling our sons, whoever you come, they better be able to use this comb, whatever trope it is. And yet our daughters, particularly the ones in the suburbs, in rural areas, etc., mainly around white folks, non-black folks, but mainly around white folks, are fiending for white male validation. Trail, I even got highlighted. Might be your next president. Right? And Bruce on Wayne, we'll pause right here. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Bruce on Wayne says, and Mr. Z cannot read this, Bruce on Wayne. I'm trying to read it out loud. That's why y'all heard I'm trying to get it out, but I cannot. Savledi, Messina, Okipe, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, I can't. I'm trying. I need translations. Z, did you not just come to Haitian's defense the other day? And then you can't even read this simple Creole? Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. Right? Huh? Yeah, thank you, Troy. That's what I was trying to say. If you can't use his comb, then don't bring him home. So I wanted to bring this to y'all today. Isn't this presentation not going to be too long? I want to bring this to y'all today because this is a thing, and this is going to continue to be a thing for women of color, but black women specifically, black girls in this case specifically, fiending over the validation of the white boys. I've said multiple times on my channel that, in high school, for those brothers, for those of us that remember talking about the cute girls, and some of us, it was pretty much all light skin or is lighter than a brown paper bag. And you could see the black girls, the darker skinned black girls, it just crushing them. You're not saying anything negative about dark skin. You're just saying what you find attractive. And the darker skinned black girls, it's crushing them. Add race onto that. You think them white boys, whether they realize it or not, it's ripping them apart. It's ripping black girls apart, specifically darker skinned black girls. That these white boys are not interested or not attracted to them. Yes, underage. We're not talking about as adults. We're not even there yet. Huh? We're not even there yet. So Connor and Chad and Brad and Thad, right? And him just living his life and finding the brunette green-eyed girl or the blonde blue-eyed girl or the redhead with freckles, usually not, attractive, is ripping the black girls to shred in these environments. But as she becomes an adult, she realizes she can't say that for most of them. So what does she say? The black boys weren't interested. Oh boy. And the black boys in their colorism and featureism and texturism and misogyny and misogynorism. Oh boy. Huh? Yeah. And Bruce Wayne gives me the translation. It says the black same-sex loving men is the breadwinner for the top white man. Bruh, embarrassing. And now if he was listening, he'd be like, how y'all know I'm not the top? Okay, yeah, that's it, bro. Majoring in the minor, sir. Right. I put that up. I put that brother's videos up to emphasize that this is the advice that black girls and women are getting, particularly black women. Huh? Are you not embarrassed? And shout out to the brother that sent that to me in email. He screenshotted it, and it's the African sister. And he has the words up, and it's "Are you not embarrassed?" And it's hysterical. When she said that, I thought it's like the funniest thing in the world. The over exaggerated um gestures and facial expressions. Yeah. Shout out to all non-ADOS people that don't live in America and trying to imitate hood ass black girls. Y'all be doing way too much. Way too much. Yes, the ADOS and black Americanized women have some exaggerated facial expressions and gestures. Yes, they do. And y'all take that and take it over the top. I see y'all watching Chrissy, no, not Chrissy. Y'all watching Real Talk with Yanni, excuse me. Y'all watching Paris Milan, and y'all see their facial expressions, and then y'all try to imitate it, and y'all take it even further than they do. Right? So we cover this, as Charles said, because Mr. Z is a masochist. Shout out to Charles Faulkner Jr. and PK Angel and Edward Anderson. Right? Exactly, Vince. These are their role models. The LGBTQ brother, that's he's a role model to them because he's saying, expand your options. If you have a septum ring, if you tuck your hair behind your ears, right? And he gives a list of requirements that speak to you probably should be ending up with the white dude. Now we're in 2024. I'm gonna love to see that interracial marriage rate in 20 years. I'm gonna love to see that interracial marriage. Chrissy already hedging her bets now. For those of you that were part of or watched what I covered, Chrissy covering Queens of Kings, the Queen of Kings or King of Queens, Queens of King. The young lady, dark skinned short sister that's with the big burly white dude. What did Chrissy say? Chrissy admitted it. She know as more and more black women marry white men, that divorce rate is gonna skyrocket. Huh? And she admitted, hey, just because y'all dating these white dudes don't mean y'all gonna end up with them. Shout out to Chrissy, but she's already hedging her bets now. She already know. Shout out to 18th letter. We've been watching Chrissy for a while. Boy, Chrissy could slip in and out. Hey, Chrissy got to be some of the best social media boxer on the planet. Chrissy will put out long ass streams and then know she said some crazy stuff and then delete them or take them down and put it on her Patreon. Chrissy will know what the outcome is going to be. Pun intended. Know what the outcome is going to be for certain things, and she'll slip, duck, dodge, all of it. Chrissy got to be the Mayweather of this type of conversation. She is. Huh? So Chrissy admitted what it is. These young women are admitting to you, and not even just young. Oh, Stefco, all in her 40s now, right? Or is she 39, 40? About to be 40. No, she's 40, but she just turned 40. Telling you straight up, high, underage white dudes, adult white dudes. Now she says she dated a bunch of different people. Okay, whatever. Huh? Just in case y'all were wondering, shout out to Big Kev. Big Kev mentioned Amanda Marianne one time. I could tell. Yeah, she's cute. Yes, cute. Amanda Marianne is cute. Means nothing. Somebody mentioned Madison Brown on my channel one time also. Yeah, Madison Brown is cute. Means nothing. Huh? BGS mentioned Cynthia G and her symmetrical features. Means nothing. She's off her damn rocker. Huh? All these broken ass black women. Shout out to Vic. Vic said it earlier. Where's that comment? We'll go find that comment. Right? Where is it? It should be up here somewhere. Yeah. Broken. Huh? So I just make sure, shout out to all you fathers out there, black daughters, make sure y'all guard against this. We understand what the commercials are saying. We understand what the television shows are saying. We understand what these weirdos on social media are saying. But the white men and boys are saying something completely different through action. Huh? And on a separate clip, I'm gonna probably review Amanda Marianne soon. By the way, yes, Mr. Z did watch the debate. I watched it live. I have a lot to say. I did say a little bit on the Roger Report's channel. Y'all check out the Roger Report. Subscribe to the Roger Report. I did say a little bit this morning on his channel, but I'm thinking of if I want to kind of give my own take on it on my channel. I'm thinking about it. If I don't do it by tomorrow, oh well. Friday, it's probably not. By the way, I might do a birthday stream on Friday because Mr. Z's birthday is this weekend, so I might do a birthday stream on Friday. We'll see. Friday afternoon. Continuing, Amanda Marianne has a think piece speaking about online dating and the apps, and she speaks on. And I'm probably going to review it separately, but I'm just mentioning this now. She speaks on going on so many dates in college and how, at one point she just was like, if I could just have a boyfriend, if I could just have a boyfriend. And Mr. Z was thinking to himself, was it a boyfriend, Amanda Marianne, or was it a white boyfriend? And yes, it does matter for you and for the sake of this conversation. Because it says a lot if you were saying, if I could just have a boyfriend, or if you were saying to yourself, if I could just have a boyfriend, but you really meant if I could just be validated by a white man. Huh? And you said, Miss Amanda Marianne, that any time that wasn't taken up by school or friends or something you already had planned, you were looking to date. You know, one of the tragedies of black fathers not being in the homes, one of the tragedies of, the conversation between black men and black women being monopolized by black women because white racist society put the thumb on the scales for black women, especially over the past 40 years, definitely 30 some odd years. One of the tragedies of all of this is that black women and LGBTQ brothers like a Themis and like this brother that I have in the description box. One of the tragedies is that black women have constructed this almost indestructible bubble of delusion and lies. And as Edward Anderson says, the lie to me economy is almost this indestructible bubble, this bomb-proof, bulletproof bubble, this echo chamber where they regurgitate the same lies and the same delusions to themselves until one of them is so mad at the other they actually tell that person the truth for all of 10.5 milliseconds. Huh? This bomb-proof, bulletproof, indestructible bubble. This is one of the tragedies of black women not interacting with black men in earnest about man-woman dynamics, not just black man-woman dynamics, but man-woman dynamics. One of the tragedies, and you saw it unfold on Kevin Samuels' channel night after night. You see it unfold on Daily Wrap-Up Crew. You see it unfold. I'm seeing Saint and Sinner, have these conversations with women, black women. You seeing it unfold. They are, and to a certain extent, I think they're lying. But then in another way, I think they're telling the truth. They're flabbergasted that men really think about the world differently than women. And I'm tying that to this conversation by saying, what are the tragedies of black women keeping black men away from their daughters? And one of the tragedies of the black community being a gynocracy is that your daughters are out here for the picking for non-black men to have their experiences with and then discard and then still end up with the non-black women they were going to marry in the first place. One of the tragedies of black fathers not being in their daughters' lives, one of the tragedies of the black community being a gynocracy, one of the tragedies is that even when you're the daughter of a goddamn black billionaire, damn Z, you going there, I'm going there with rocket boosters on. All you were was a pit stop for a white dude. Even when you are the daughter, an attractive one at that, of a black billionaire, all you were for the white man was his starter marriage. Now he married to a blonde, blue-eyed white woman who don't even got 1/1,000,000th of the wealth you got. Huh? Charles, I wasn't even talking about Aoki. You could add her up there too. Faber, I'm speaking about Bob Johnson's daughter. Huh? And what's fascinating is between the gynocracy, between black fathers not being in the home, between white propaganda, we will continue to have this, but black women will fail because it was never up to them. It's up to them white boys and men, the white males. They're showing you through action what they think. And you wouldn't have to go through that heartbreak if your moms wasn't keeping you away from your fathers. Huh? You wouldn't have to go through that heartbreak if the black community was honest about the predatory nature of certain individuals. White men. Huh? Yes, do we want our daughters having underage sex? No. Do we want our daughters really thinking about that so young? Maybe not. But let's be very clear, specifically for our daughters that are growing up in diverse environments, primarily white spaces, this is a thing for them. This is a thing. Huh? And Vince's Shannon Sharp said it was not staged. I'm a little lost. You got to explain that to me. And Southern Purchase, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And once again, thank you for the super chat, Bruce on Wayne. And Southern Purchase says, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. That's not what Southern Purchase said, but still. Southern Purchase says, what up, Z? That's my Michelle. What do you mean by that, Southern Purchase? Right. We have to be honest about what sending our children to these environments is doing. The young lady admitted to you that these schools are messing them up. Check the links in my description box. Amanda Marianne, in her weird way, is telling you going to these schools, having these crush on these white boys ain't reciprocating it, is messing black girls and then black women up. Right? Oh wow. Okay. Okay, Vince. Wow. Right. And Vince is also. I heard Splackavelli for the first time the other day. Now you know why we use that term, right? We have to be careful with our daughters. So Ren said it. Mr. Z is saying it. The young lady that I have posted in my videos, now it's in my description box, said it. Amanda Marianne, whether she realizes it or not, said it. Ostefko, whether she realizes it or not, said it. The young lady off of Only Logical's channel said it. And her weird way, these young women, these underage black girls are being ripped apart because of the beauty standard. Y'all already know on my channel, I do not see black women as the number one villain. Y'all know who I think the number one villain is because that's the number one villain. My issue has been black people, namely black women, inappropriately responding to a toxic environment. I have said that from the beginning. I maintain that. That is my stance. That has been my stance. That's why I do not have the anger and rage towards Chrissy that she has towards me. I don't have to call her stupid every 5 seconds. Huh? That's why you will not see me necessarily mocking black female civil rights leaders the way um what's her face again? Mr. Z, you having a brain fart. Real Talk with Yanni did. That's why you will not see me saying a male version of Kentanji chose better, Serena chose better, Eve chose better, the way Paris Milan did. You will not catch Z talking about unaliving black female babies the way Cynthia G did. I would not recite or regurgitate some type of male version of black women are well I would not regurgitate a version of whatever Crystal and Karazin was on when black men are nothing but big D and swag. Are they? And Detroit says black women celebrating James Earl Jones passing. Are they? Why? Because he was married to a white woman? And that's okay. We expect it. It's not even shocking anymore. Right? I said it before. Black women are going to solidify themselves as the insufferable, mean, weird, highly sexual, mystic, spiritual being women that people only mess with if you try to have your fortune told or if you try to get some wild, kinky sex. Right? And Detroit said Angry Man covered it. And I think that's okay. The black community is going to have to come to terms with these weirdos. The black community is going to have to come to terms with these weirdos. Not just, they're just, I get it. Yeah, they're a sick bunch, like how FD told me about divestors. Huh? It's not just divestors. It's not just swirlers. It's not just black women in luxury. The black community, much like what a lot of society is doing right now, is waving its finger, wagging its finger at men, primarily middle class, lower middle class, working class, and working poor men and allowing for the women to run amok, have fun with social cohesion, huh? Dylan said, "How you celebrating Mufasa dying? Hysterical, right?" And rest in peace to James Earl Jones. So we transitioned from a time where black women, along with black men, would be celebrating the life of a James Earl Jones, to now black women celebrating the death of a James Earl Jones, especially brothers like that who are or were married to non-black women. Exactly. And Vince says the hood doesn't even know about these weirdos like that, like that. True, true. But the women in the hood who say black men ain't ish, who get their degrees and move out to the burbs, especially in their daughters' formative years, their daughters become the divestors. Their daughters become the swirlers. Chrissy's mom produced a swirler. Huh? Your daughters become swirlers and divestors. When you don't check your daughter's daddy issues because you made them, oops, your daughter becomes Cynthia G. So yeah, you know, people in the hood, even black women in the hood, don't really know this divester swirler thing. But once you start talking like, I could go get me a white man, I could get me an Asian man, I could get me a Latino man, and you saying things like that in front of your daughter, I could do bad all by myself. You're saying stuff like that. Your daughter becomes a swirler and divester. That's if you don't produce an LGBTQ daughter. Yeah, I said it. Huh? I'm Waffles, that's hysterical. And I'm Waffles says the hood rat begets divester, the circle of life, right? Ooh, and Faber says ain't gotta know what a swirler is to top off Ahmed at the corner bodega. Say that, huh? You don't need to know what a swirler or a divester is. That young lady on the video, she could or could not be the video from my well, in my videos and now in my community chat, the one that told you, she attended a PWI and kind of messed her up. She could or could not be a divester, right? Or she could or could not know what a divester is. But she told you straight up there's a reason why sisters like that have a difficult time dating a black man. Right? And Eric says, tell him to stop yapping and date out already, right? Right? So, coming to a close, I really wanted to bring this to y'all. Um, Underage black girls, they too seeking the validation of white boys. The underage swirlnomics. I said swirlnomics, Swirl Olympics. The underage Swirl Olympics. And the LGBTQ brother, he said a lot there. Right? If you're alternative, if you have a septum ring, meanwhile, FD signifier is mocking us about the septum theory, mocking Dr. T. Hassan Johnson about the septum theory. Meanwhile, this LGBTQ brother who I put money, never, he doesn't know anything about Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. He doesn't know anything about them some septum theory. He said it. Now what? So while FD is mocking us, some random LGBTQ brother that don't know who Dr. T. Hassan Johnson is, never heard of no septum theory, he randomly said it. Now what? Huh? And DeVito says a lot of alternative black women like white dudes. A lot of alternative women like black. Obviously, white dudes. Let's read that again. A lot of alternative black women like white dudes because those alternative black women don't even want to admit why they're alternative. They're alternative because they know they can't beat the white woman at being a white woman. They cannot beat the white girl at being a white girl. Miss me with the you're a heavy set sister, you're darker skin, broad nose, 4C curls, and calling yourself alternative. You're alternative because you don't have a goddamn choice. I said it. The young lady that only logical covered. Check my link. Check the links in my description box. Colored dreads. Did she have a septum ring? I think I saw a septum ring. She had a bit of a different look to her. Of course she did. She finally came to the understanding and realization she's not beating the white girls at being a white girl. You're not beating the white girl at being a white girl. So to the alternative sisters, I get it. I'm not saying every alternative black girl to a girl, every alternative black woman to a woman. I'm not saying that. I am saying that for many of them, it's I'm alternative because I can't be her. Whether it's the light skinned cute sister, whether it's the blonde blue eyed white girl. Oh, I'm alternative. I'm different. Yawn. Right? And of course they like the white dude. The alternative black women like the white dude. Who else is gonna validate their femininity? Who else is gonna validate them? It's not good enough when a black boy says it. Boy, people better take seriously this racial hypergamy you think we playing. And dear black women, it ain't black men's fault that black men could play this game better than you. I said it. Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson and all of them. Tanya TKO and all of them. It's our loyalty. Yeah, black women's loyalty. Yeah, that's it. Just because the white boys and the white men, the white males aren't choosing does not mean you're more loyal, black women. That's your ego talking. That's your pride talking. Huh? It does not mean you're more loyal. It means that they're not choosing. Huh? There's a difference. All of these black scholars, these black leaders, black women's loyalty to black men and black women's love of black men and black. Are there black women that's really riding with black men? Yes, that exists. Is it enough? No. But is it really for all of these black women their loyalty? Or is it that the white men and the Latino men are just not, they're just not into black women like that? Huh? And Lord Lovesmith says, and once again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, Southern Purchase, right? And Southern Purchase, I still don't really get the, okay, anyway, And Lord Lusman says, oh sure, because and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Lord Lusman says, oh sure, because we all know you can always trust a guy with hips wider than his wife. Just a little nod to FD signifier there. Look, I'm not trying to go in on FD pause. I'm not trying to really, I will say this about FD. FD knows better. I want to be very clear. FD chose his side. FD signifier knows better. He knows what black women are on. He knows about the swirler divestors. He said it himself. When he put out that think piece about the black manosphere, and he did the little segment about swirlers divestors, he said he found worse. He just wasn't going to post it. He's researching these things. When he puts out these think pieces, he does his research. He knows what black women are on. Let's give FD the most extreme benefit of the doubt ever. Straight jacket level generous. Let's say FD didn't know nothing about no swirler divestors. He never heard black women speak disparagingly about black men in contrast to white men. Let's say we were extremely generous, insanely generous, straight jacket, insanely generous. He knows now. Mr. Z has informed him. When he went on Bernard Riley's channel, he heard all of it. Little Bill, who he supports, has informed him. Olay has informed him. Even if he didn't know before, he knows now how black women talk about white men and black men. Even if we were extremely generous, he knows now. FD has already decided, that's not my lane. I'm not really gonna say anything too much about that. I'm gonna let that one go. Fine. FD already told you when he was on Bernard Riley's channel, and shout out to Ed for pressing FD and having him say it, that because of the way white supremacy work and feminism and et cetera, and the black community, the black community is a matriarchy. That's his words. We know it as a gynocracy, but the black community is a matriarchy. Now, as I've said before, and as I have come to more and more of the realization of, when black women call black men sexist, when black women call black men misogynistic, when black women call black men misogynoirist, what they're saying is you will not adhere to the rulership and leadership of black women. Black men won't protect, provide, and shut up. FD2 understands that. Mr. Z, if Mr. Z gets it, FD gets it. And FD says, yeah, I'm not saying it should be like that, but it is like that. And maybe we should be less antagonistic to those women. What did FD say on Themis channel? He's worked around the black manosphere and made the black manosphere obsolete. Yeah, you did not make the black manosphere obsolete, and you did not work around the black manosphere if you can't get enough black men to marry black women and be paymasters for them. Not only that, you haven't made black men obsolete if you don't get black men to do for black women that they're not having sex with, don't have children with, and aren't in a relationship to, whether mother, sister, aunt, grandma, girl, cousin, etc. And guess what? More and more black men aren't signing up that deal. You did not make the black manosphere obsolete, FD. Huh? If you can't get black men to sign up for what Sherry Shepard was speaking about, which is essentially rent a husband, where your friend can rent your husband from you, not sexual, but to do little menial jobs in labor. If you can't get enough black men to sign up for that for black women, if you can't get enough black men to be mentored to black girls and black boys for non-married black women, non-partnered black women, then you have not worked around the black manosphere and made the black manosphere obsolete. It's that simple. And Lord Lusmus continues by saying, and thank you for the super chat, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Lord Lusmus says, Mr. Z, I urge you to reconsider being so accommodating to the other side. They have shown no intention of extending us any grace. You're right about that. You're right. Their aim appears to be to see us imprisoned or worse. I think for the extreme. I agree with you. I think for the extreme. I think Kim Foster got real close to saying that. Cynthia G pretty much just said it, right? I think for the extreme, you're right about that. I will say this. I don't think that's the goal for most black feminists. I don't think that's the goal for most black women. I don't think that's the goal for even most divestors. I think their goal is for black men to protect, provide, and shut up, whether they're giving us the vagina or not, whether they have children for us and with us or not, whether they're in relationship to us and with us or not. I think the goal is to get black men to accept their role as the stepping stone for black women and for larger society. I think the goal is for black men to just shut up and accept that you are stepping stone Stacy. White society has decided to put their thumb on the scale for black women in relationship to black men, right? They have decided that the emissary will be black women, the voice of the black community will be black women, the go-to to speak to the black community or to black men will be black women, and black women want you to shut up and accept that, right? And if you don't, you are all type of sexist, misogynistic, misogynorist, because you will not accept, and black men by and large will not accept that your role is to be here in the black community, protect, provide, and shut up. And for all of you that end up with non-black women, or all of you that goes to Africa or go to the Caribbean or go to Latin America and find you an Afro-Latina who will play play the game by your rules, and who has no problem being a two-parent nuclear family where the man leads, you are escaping the black gynocracy. For all of you who end up with a non-black woman who's going to play the game by your rules, you are escaping the black gynocracy. That is what James Earl Jones described. I would argue that is why many of them are celebrating his death. Huh? The issue, I would argue, with many black women, whether they can articulate it or not, their issue with black men is that you will just not accept your position as the bottom. Z, do you mean that with pun intended? I said as the bottom. Huh? In Southern Purchases, and thank you for the super chat, Shannon Sharp got caught smashing somebody named Michelle on IG Live, and black women are placing bets on what race she is. Oh boy. And why does this matter, Z? You know, Black women, you can't keep on trying to protect your ego. I know that's what, and you can't be so, you can't have this type of hubris. Either you care who black men are married to and have sex with, or you don't. Just like I said the other day, dear black men, it's okay to say that your feelings are hurt. I'm telling black women, it's okay to say that your feelings are hurt. But your pride, though, you're not like your moms, huh? See, our grandmas used to say something about it. Our mothers used to say something about it. You ain't gonna say my feelings are hurt because these black men with money, oops, and fame, because I don't care about them before that, are having sex with and are married to and are in relationship with white women, with Latinas, with Asian women, with Middle Eastern women, etc., etc. I'm mad and sad and depressed that these non-black women get to have black men with means and resources. It's not fair. It ain't fair. It's not fair. The white women isn't told to settle. Dear black women, if you can't admit it, then fine. Eat your pride. You can have your pride. And have fun with that roller story, or have fun with Julio, who's jumping up and down your esophagus. Have fun with Brad and Thad and Chad, who's playing bumper cars with your bumper. Huh? Dear black women, you don't get to have it all. Acting like you don't care who black men end up with, especially the ones with money. Huh? While also saying, well, I could date out too, and I could do better by myself. Yawn. Yes. Yes to Vegas Dev. And Vegas Dev says, so on one hand, black men ain't ish and wear dusties. On the other, they're upset when brothers leave them alone. Bro, you looking for consistency. And once again, Lord Lustman, thank you for the super chat. And Southern Purchase, thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Vegas, you looking for consistency. Why are you looking for something that makes sense? It's not supposed to make sense. It doesn't make sense. They want it all. Right? Shout out to all of us that watch The Witcher. What did the young lady used to say when they asked her what does she want? She said she wants it all. I want, well, no, that's not what she said. She said, I want everything. I want everything. Black women want everything because they think white women get everything. I'm telling you, your average black person, namely your average black woman, need to be in a goddamn therapist chair. A black man, a straight black man's therapist chair. None of this little cake ass thing y'all be doing with other black women who just be stroking your egos. Maybe something else? Ooh, ew. Huh? None of these placate ass therapists y'all be going to. Whether she's a white woman or a black woman. They want everything, bro. They want everything. They want black men to leave them alone unless it's the 6'5" tall chisel chin Tyrone with money leaking out his back pocket. And if they can't get him, then they'll settle for a brother that's just paymaster and munch on her all day. I want it all. Right? Huh. So yeah, brother, they want everything, bro. They want everything. There was a clip of a mother and a daughter It was kind of highly produced. I want to say it was like on one of these quote unquote official channels on YouTube when the whole street harassment thing came up. And it was a black mother and a black daughter speaking about street harassment. I want to say the black daughter looked like she was college years, some age under 25, I want to say. And the black mother looked like she was maybe somewhere in her early 50s, late 40s, 50s, maybe 50s. And they were speaking about street harassment. And the mother was, believe it or not, the black mother was far more generous to men. She was like, usually when you just shoot them off, they leave. She was pretty much saying, like, it's not that serious. I don't know if I've ever feel endangered before, but the black daughter was on some feminist kick, right? She was on some feminist kick. And I'm bringing that up to say, look at the different generations. I'm also bringing that up to say, by saying they want it all. That black daughter, she's saying that because she's thinking about the men that she don't find attractive, that she don't find appealing. If you give that a far enough timeline and men just stop talking, try to approach her in any way, shape, or form, she'll act innocent, like her whole idea about street harassment never existed. Shout out to Indigo, exactly, empowered as victims. Women don't scale these things up, bro. They want the jobs, they want the positions, they want the promotions, they want the money, right up until the men at the top, that the men on their same level aren't interested in them. And they're not going to date down. Okay, there's that. They want men to not approach them, to not talk to them. They're mean and harsh right up until, well, it's the type of guy I want. I want the man I want to approach me, but not none of the rest of you. Well, how do you mitigate for that? Well, exactly. They're not scaling. They're not thinking. They're not. So yes, they want it all, Vegas. They want it all. Huh? Look, B Taylor to me is just exactly what I'm talking about. The brat is exactly what I'm talking about. Huh? Oh, Stefco is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, Stefco felt a certain way when she was 8 years old that I guess young brothers was making fun of her. The little boys was making fun of her hair. She started feeling the white boys. I guess she was hopscotching between black boys and white boys and black men and white men. Now she's telling you, who's really going to touch my spirit is a black man, or however she said it. Who I see myself with is, I just don't want to deal with all this stuff. Yeah, because I know them white boys was doing you worse than, white men, excuse me, were doing you worse than the brothers. I know. Huh? These are exhibits of it. These are examples of it. Huh? And once again, Southern Purchase, thank you for the super chat. So yeah, Vegas, they want it all, bro. They want it all. They want it all. They want to be able to insult black men, but then if the white men don't check for them after a certain while, come right back to black men. They want to try black men because black boys or black men weren't checking for them when they were younger. They want to go out there and do their LGBTQ thing until they realize, oh boy, women are worse. Then they want some straight black man to take them seriously. They want to be Queen Earth Mother Goddess while a black man be her paymaster. Right? They want to be, I can do bad all by myself. And then some black man just pursues her and pursues her and pursues her and pursues her, and it gets her to change her mind. They want to be insufferable, mean, condescending, rude, snarky a-holes and yet have the sweetest man in the world take care of them, right? They want it all. And they're angry at the world that the world won't bend its will, that physics keeps them from having it all, that math keeps them from having it all, that science keeps them from having it all. They want to bend and break the laws of nature, right? It's that simple. They want it all. And your concepts of them being delusional be damned. Uh, Alexa, cue up Simone Sanders asking who asks men for their unsolicited opinions. Huh? So on that note, y'all, Mr. Z, I wasn't trying to stream this long, so we'll pause right here. Truly, y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. I think BGS is streaming right now. I think I saw the notification earlier. Um, I brought this to y'all, as I said before, because this is underage Black women, or at least was underage Black women, right? This is how they think. This is how they feel. They're letting you know they're going through it in these high schools simply because the white boys ain't looking at them. Simply. Y'all check out the links in the description. Y'all have conversations with your daughters, right? Y'all have conversations with their mothers. But this is a thing, especially for Black girls that go to diverse or different environment. They live in different environments and they go to different type of schools. They go to predominantly white institutions. You live in the burbs somewhere and it's primarily, white kids, non-Black kids, because some of these girls are going through it in these heavily Latino environments. They're seeking the validation of non-Black boys. And yes, your daughter can very well come home engaged to a white boy. Yes. And how many white boys had their way with her before the fact? Huh? Oh, Stefco is letting you know. Amanda Marianne, I don't know what her body count is. It's none of my business. But she lets you know she was going on date after date after date after date after date. Well, I guarantee you it's pretty much with white dudes. Huh? They're letting you know. We got a lot of broken ass Black women running around here because they can't deal with the fact that they're not white women, and nor will they ever be. They're not white girls and they're not white women. And it's shattered their psyche. Right? And women of color writ large, Black women specific, are going to have to come to terms with, not pretend come to terms with, not come to terms with, but be angry, primarily at Black men. Not that play, pretend come to terms with, but you bring it up every once in a while because you're resentful. No, Black women are going to have to come to terms with, they're not white women, nor will they ever be. Not that come to terms with, so now I'm going to do my LGBTQ pansexual thing. Not come to terms with, okay, so because I can't be a white woman, burn gender to the ground. No, stop it. Black women are going to have to come to terms with, they're not white women. They are not white girls. And white men will always choose white women first. And then maybe Asian women. But white men will always choose white women first. That young lady, she's a woman now. That young lady told you she would dress the way they dress. She would imitate them. She was trying to get her skin bleached. She went and got her hair relaxed. She told you that one white boy that rejected her sent her down a road of seeking their validation. It didn't stop her. You would think it would, that one turn down would have been like, okay, well, let me go in a different direction. No, she said it sent her down a road of seeking their validation even more. I walked in the door in the Black Manosphere telling y'all, and shout out to me, I'm gonna pat myself on the back for this one. I told y'all, shout out to Sarge Willie Pete. I told y'all it had nothing to do with what black men were not doing. It's not about what black men didn't build. It's not what black men are not taking education seriously. It's not about black men and a lack of class. It had nothing to do with that. It's that you are not white men and you cannot make black women politically and socially white women, specifically upper middle class white women. And lots of this trauma comes from their childhood. Black men, you meet a cool black woman that's about black men and she's feeling you, you grab her by the hand and run. Huh? You meet a cool black woman that's about black men and likes you, you grab her hand and run and don't look back. Huh? Because the other of them are recovering Amanda Marianne's, recovering Madison Brown's, recovering O Stefco's. Huh? So on that note, y'all, we'll truly pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, and y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all night. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out. And shout out to the replay gang.